another interesting edition of Matter Africa on television Nigeria. Today we'll be discussing girl-child marriage. And girl-child marriages are symptomatic of gender-based discrimination against girls and cultural norms that value girls less than boys. And today with me I have a founder of MOA with me today to discuss girl-child marriage. Well, let's go on a short break, and when we return, you will be meeting my guest for today. Okay, today with me is Mary or Imabong Oyomiri. She is the founder of MOA, that's Mary Oyomiri Women Arise. Okay, Mawa, pleased to meet you. How have you been? I'm glad to be with you today to talk about this very it's a very pending issue, that it's really disturbing Africa. And then let's bring it back to Nigeria. It's one thing that has really affected the girl child so much. But before we go to talk about the girl child marriage proper, I'd like you to tell us what MOA is, how you came about the MOA and name and all of that.
MOA is Mary Oyomiri Women Arise. It has to do with the abuse of women all over the world. It has to do with women being an image of God as to become all that God has called them to be. And the part of Africa, I've been in the Western world for a lot of years. And God is sending me back to Africa, Nigeria, because I was born in Nigeria, to come and encourage women to be all that God has called them to be. Because whatever it is that has held women bound, and that it should just arise from that and be all that God has created them to be.
Okay, that's great. So now we've had issues of early girl child marriage, in our society. And then this occurs mostly in areas where you feel the high level of poverty, cultural norms and economic gains. Then we'll now begin to bring in security and control. How do you see that affecting us, or how has it affected the early girl child marriage?
It will affect everything that has to do with that child, that girl, or that individual. Because I'll bring it back to where I'm coming from, my own source, my own thing, that God has made everybody to be unique. God has deposited much in everybody. He made everybody to be something beautiful and great on earth. And if we, because of poverty, because of gender, because of maybe the culture, tradition feels that a girl child does not worth anything, they kill the morale, they kill everything about that child. So to me, it's an abuse on women, it's an abuse on that gender, it's an abuse on a female child until our voice is heard, until our voices are heard, and until we cry out. We cry out to the government, we cry out to anybody in authority that can help us to stop this nonsense. Girl child abuse will still be going on.
There are laws where a minimum age for marriage is 18, and before that age is illegal. Now we've had these issues in so many scenarios and all of that. You end up marrying your child who is below 18, and then she's physically she's physically who is not physically mature for marriage for that age, and then motherhood sets in, which we all know motherhood is hard. How are we going to blend that? Talk about their health issues, how they manage their homes, and how should we cope that, because it looks like that's the most prevalent thing that is happening now, especially in some remote areas where they have not really gained awareness. So what do we do to cope that?
We need to bring an awareness to the area. To start with, an 18-year-old is not even mature enough to get married. Marriage is not a game. Marriage is a life lesson. Marriage is a place where you go and you bring out everything that is in you. An 18-year-old is still a child. chocolates of a 16-year, 15-year, 14 or 13 years old. I think there is an awareness that must be brought into such community. There is an awareness that child that we are selling out, because that child we are selling out can never be happy. That child we are selling out can never become all that she's created to be. We are selling that child out. It's the slavery that is going on. It's a slavery. We are selling that child out because the parents are poor. We are selling that child out because they feel that child is not worth anything. We are selling that child out because they feel it's a woman who makes the law. Everybody that is created on earth is created in God's image. And God made everybody to become something on this, and there is a glory in everybody. So if you pick up a child, a 13-year-old child, a 14-year-old child, 15-year-old child, you sell that child to marriage. You sell that child to a man, an older man old enough to be our father, old enough to be our uncle, our grandfather. You've killed the morale of that child. You've killed the sense of living of that child. She becomes a slave, not a wife. A slave to that man. She lives by the dictates of that man until this voice is heard. Until our voices are heard, we cry against this slavery. It will not stop. It will not stop.
It's hard to think that before now our parents used to get married, like from the age of 13 and all of that. We grew up to hear this kind of stories. Now it comes to mind that could be part of ignorance.
It is
Because there was no awareness.
Yes.
But the word has revolved enough for us to speak out and emphasize on early girl-child marriage. Because if you look at it, it has really health-wise, it has really affected a girl child, especially during childbirth. You know, and then they tend to have several other complications and all. But I think that the law is not really being emphasized on the perpetrators of this. To me, it's an atrocity, because most times the parents get to consent to this, which I said that could be for poverty or maybe cultural value, cultural norms and all of that. But I don't know, maybe you tell me what you think should be done aside from this cultural norm or cultural value or poverty or economic gain, whatever it is that's affected. Maybe you could tell me more what should be done apart from the awareness.
Our parents, my mother was not though. Maybe my grandmother, our grandparents in those days were forced into marriage, were given into marriage because of the culture and the world they live in that time. We're in the 21st century. They lived in that world, they didn't know better. Most of them were illiterate, they were not educated. But now we are in the 21st century. You can't just pick up a child and just sell to an older man and say, this is your husband, because of poverty. So we should be looking now at a part of the government, the system that can raise up women and men that can fight and stop this. It is a slavery. When you pick up a 16, a 15-year-old child and you marry off that child to anybody because you are poor, you marry off that child because it's a slave. I had a meeting I just did in Port Harcourt, and in that meeting I asked the men, it's a women thing. And no, the topic of the theme of that conference was, what do I do? How do I become a better person when I get married? So we are addressing singles here. And I said, there is no how you can be a better person until your identity is resolved. Until you have resolved your identity, you know who you are for a fact. And then I addressed the men, and I said, I dare men to look at their wives and ask their wives, who are you? Who do you think you are? Who has God made you to be? What do you want to be in this life? And until we come to that place where the men are bold enough, they deal with their insecurity, they deal with their fears, that this woman can be better than me or whatever, they deal with their own insecurity, then they can allow the women to be all that God has called them to be. So we bring it back to the parents as well. Parents are poor. Yes, you are poor, but selling your child, it means you have killed everything that child is. It means that child, you have shot the mouth of that child. While you shot the mouth of that child, you shot the destiny destiny of that child can never be who God has called her to be, because now you've enslaved her, you've sold her out to anybody. And she begins to live under the dictates of that man. So everything about her is dead. So we are looking at the government, crying out to the government. There is a woman in the government setting. There is a man in the government setting that has the legal authority to put this nonsense to a stop. Yes, you can say, I live in the US, I'm an American citizen. You can't just pick up any child to go marry somebody. No, the law will come against you. You can do that. Everybody has a will. You have a free will. You have a free will to do whatever you want to do. So until such system is enforced in the government of Nigeria or Africa, worldwide, there will still be the slave. And it is a slavery. When you pick up a child and you give to a man because you're poor or because it's your culture, it's a nonsense culture. It is a culture. It is this culture of this world that has made the word of God of no effect. This culture, this tradition, there is somebody that has this passion already that can put their voice out in the system and say, let this thing stop. If you're poor as a father, there are other ways. How much do you sell the child? 20,000, 30,000, for God's sake, 30,000 naira, 20,000 naira. There are systems that can give you 20,000 naira for God's sake. There are people that can even give you 100,000 naira for God's sake, and let that child be all that the child can be. Do you know there are presidents, mighty women, entrepreneurs, presidents locked up in a girl child? You sold to one man and they've killed that destiny of that child. So we need a voice in the system to stop this slavery. It's a slavery. I call it a slavery.
Well, like I said, 18 years is the minimum marriageable age that
Yes.
allows younger children to marry with parent consent.
Okay.
Now, but at 18 years, you still find out
You're
that
still a child.
you're still a child. But it's meant to be understood
Okay.
that you are now an adult. Now you think you're
Make
old
decisions.
enough to make decisions and take decisions and do whatever
That's
it
right.
is.
That's right.
These laws are applicable even in the United States
Yeah,
of
sure,
America,
sure,
and it's
sure.
everywhere. But at the end of the day, you find out that this child that you're marrying out is not even ready. Is still physically immature
That's right.
to be ready for marriage. You end up having broken homes and all of that.
Broken lives.
Broken lives. And at the end of the day, you see that we're having so much broken homes, single mothers out there. I mean, what can we do?
What can we do?
What can we do?
What can we do? I think there's a system. I feel, and I pray. I'm praying and I feel that there's a system, there's a group of women that we should come together. Women, men, people that just have passion for this kind of slavery to stop. We should come together.
Sensitization.
Yes, come together, sit together and plan and find a system how we can help such children. Because there are children that are there. They have they are there, they have children. There are children giving birth to children that don't even have a clue. These men just use them for sex. Just use them for sex and just use them to enrich his kingdom. Okay, there are people that can come together and say, okay, let's get this system together. Let's look for a place, a system where we can rescue such children. There must be a rescue thing set in motion.
That's where the empowerment
This is where the empowerment comes in. Because there are some, I can say 99% of them can never be happy there. I can never be. I cannot imagine my children, my girls' children being enslaved to a man. They can never, they just adapt to the system. They just adapt to the life. And to me, that is a killer to me. Why? Somebody just adapt to another life entirely that you are not supposed to be used to. You just adapt because your father sold you. So we look for a system, there's a forum, there's a platform we should get that addresses the parents, one, Another forum we should address that addresses the culture. Another forum we should address that we should come, that we should get together, that addresses such children that really want a way out. We should get them out. We should get them out.
Thank you very much. My child marriage is a rights violation, and
Yes, it must be stopped. It must be stopped. It must be stopped.
You talking about this, it's heartbroken.
It is. It is.
You see a girl child who is supposed to be something that you can look up to tomorrow in the future, and then that's, like you said,
that life is
being cut
It is
off
being
just
sold.
like that. Now, ignorance is one other thing that comes to play, which to me is a very big sickness, because you can't
It is.
get out of it.
It is.
What can you advise the parents out there? Like we've talked about empowerment, we should create room for empowerment.
Yes.
But I think if we start empowering them earlier, then we have that understanding to say, okay, this is what I can do with my hand, and not to be in a man's house at this age. I need to achieve something. So what are these empowering things you think we can create for them? And then what do you think we should tell the parents? Are we supposed to empower the parents too, because it has to include poverty, or we should talk to them or give them call for sensitization amongst parents, so they will have an understanding that early child marriage for a girl is an abuse, is slavery, is oppression, it's everything
ugly. It's everything that is ugly.
And so what do you think we can?
I think that with the parents, I think the first thing to do is allow the children to know who they are, that they are specially made by God. To discover identity is a problem. Identity. I see even an older 30, 40 years old woman in Nigeria does not even know who they are, and I'm like, seriously? Identity is a key factor. Let the children know who they are from 5 years old, from 2 years old. Let them know. In the Western world, you can't just tell a child go do something. They will ask you why. Because they train them from their home to be outspoken. So we have a culture here that the girl child cannot talk. And then this culture brings that girl child to a marital relationship. And we get into this nonsense that they call submission. Submit to me, that's fine. And I asked, what is submission? Submission means submitting my destiny. How have we come into this place of submission? Because I've been married for 20 years, 20-something years now. If my husband had told me, submit to me, submit everything, I wouldn't be in Nigeria now, after 30-something years abroad, doing what I'm doing now. So we bring identity, reality to the children. Then the parents. If poverty is a problem, we find a platform, a forum where we can empower them. And again, empower them in knowledge. You don't have to sell your child. This child that God has given, this child that you have created, do you know what it means to have a child? Do you know what it means to create another being? You just create, I'm sorry for saying that. Do you know what it means? I'm preaching right there. To create a being. You have created this beautiful being. A human being that could be anything in this world, anything as far as our eyes can see. So how do you train this child, empower this child? So we bring the parents as well to the place of awareness that this is not just what is it called? A toy in your hand. This is not just an animal. This is a human, alive, that can bring anything for you tomorrow. You don't have to sell that child for 20,000, 30,000, 100,000, 1 billion. There's no price tag on a human being. So we bring the parents to that awareness. We bring the children into the awareness of who they are. And if they can even bring this into the school system. When children just say, shut up there, don't say anything, shut up there. No, you don't tell them to shut up. You allow children to express, oh yes, 100%, 1 million times. You allow them. Do you know, I'll bring a Bible verse in. Jesus said, don't let them go out of my presence, because their angels stands before God. These children, you think they are children. They are children by their features, but everything that is in you is inside of them. So listen to your children. They could be telling. Sometimes a child will say, "Oh, if I grow up, I want to be a president." It could just be what is meant to be, and say, "Shut up there, you." It has nothing to do with whether your parents are poor, whether your parents are poor. So I look at the parents again. You sold out president, you sold out governors, you sold out senators, you sold out pastors, evangelists, businesswomen. You sold out great destiny for peanuts. You sold back. So now you sold them out. So what are we doing now? How do we recover and put a stop to this slavery? We plead to the government. There is a law that must be done. There's a law, there is a voice, there is a cry. The voices, our voices as mothers, our voices as good mothers, good leaders. You don't just have this attitude of, "I don't care." I am a mother as well. I can't imagine somebody selling my children. I always tell my children, there is no dust, and I call everybody dust because we all came from the dust. No dust on this earth should tell you I have 4 girls, 2 biological children and 2 stepdaughters. No dust on earth should determine what you must be. Whenever you find out what you want to be, my first daughter is 16, she wants to be a judge. Whenever you have found out what you want to be in this life, there is nobody, no dust, male, husband, nobody should be able to change your mind from what you want to be in this life. So identity is the key. And when the parents are lost because they don't have identity, sometimes it's a generational thing that passes on. Because they don't know who they are, their parents didn't know who they are, they don't know anything about themselves, so they'll say, "Okay, the children are useless as well, so hey, what's the use of having this girl?" No, but a girl child is God's creation, is God's gift to you to create in this world, and that child can be anything in this life. Can be anything in this life.
Thank you very much for having you
Thank
to
you.
have expressed yourself and see how passionate it is. Now, what we need to do majorly is to make sure we do more of campaign to
Yes.
stop this
To stop it,
violence.
to stop
It
it.
has to stop because a girl marriage, like I said, is a right violation that
It
needs
is
to
to
be
be
stopped.
stopped.
It has
To be
end.
stopped.
So thank you very much
Thank
for,
you for
for,
having
for
me.
speaking out for the oppressed, for the
Less
girl child, for the
privileged,
less privileged,
for the
all, for the
poor,
poor.
for the
Yes.
world.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
you.
And this is where we draw the curtains on today's episode of Matter Africa. You have heard, and viewers out there, I'm sure you have listened, a girl-child marriage violation has to stop. Early marriage violation, it has to stop. I'm sure you're listening to us and something needs to be done for this to come to an end. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll come your way again next week on the same station. I remain blessed and pray. Do have a good evening.